Hey guys, Christina here, and today I wanted to share with you my first experience with my new watercolor palette. I received the Kuretake Gansai Tambi 36 set of watercolors for my birthday as a present, and I couldn't wait to try them out, so I figured you might enjoy seeing my first reaction to them and my first impression. So the first thing that I did after I was done admiring the gorgeous packaging was to swatch all of the colors, and I started this out by cutting a piece of watercolor paper that was going to fit the inside of the lid of the palette. And there is a printed chart on the lid, but I wanted bigger swatches, so I decided to do my own chart for that purpose. The first thing that I noticed about the paints themselves is that the palette is kind of very different from what I'm used to. The little paint pots, they have the color in them, has the consistency that really reminds me of gouache, and they're almost a bit sticky, and you need just a tiny bit of pigment to get a very vibrant color on your paper. A little bit of them really will take you a long way. And the other thing that I also thought was interesting is that the colors are pretty opaque, which is very cool and different from what I'm used to. Another thing that I loved about the palette is that the paint pans are actually big enough for me to fit a big paintbrush in them, which would make backgrounds and like big washes of color a lot easier to do. And bigger pans do add up, unfortunately, to a bulky palette, but you know, that thing's truly a beast. It's massive, and it's definitely not a handy on the go traveling watercolor palette, but that's not what I was after anyway, so I'm really happy, and the size of the palette itself doesn't really bother me. The palette also is a bit of a lazy artist palette. You get so many different colors that it kind of cuts down on the amount of mixing of colors that you would need to do. Which is fine by me. I mean, I do still mix a lot of my colors, but I like to have the variety if I'm just quickly experimenting with something. So I'm very happy with the fact that I have so many colors to play with. But yes, so after I was done with the swatches, I wanted to play around with the palette a bit more, and my friend Dory from the channel Dory Stories was kind enough to send me a digital coloring page that I was able to print on my watercolor paper. So she started her Patreon recently, and coloring pages are just one of the awesome things that you can get if you choose to support her. I believe you can get access to the coloring pages if you pledge just $1 a month. But I'm going to leave a link to Dory's video where she explains everything Patreon related, and I'm also going to leave a link to her Patreon in case you want to go and check it out and read a bit more about it and support her. I've seen the rest of the pages that were available for August, and they were all lovely designs, and I feel like they would be really cool things to color. And the other nice thing is that because it's a digital coloring page, you can print it on absolutely any paper, so you can color it with whatever medium you feel comfortable with, which is something that I love. And the other bonus to having a digital file of a coloring page is that, you know, in my case, I was testing out a new product, and I wanted to play around with something that I didn't feel too precious about, because I knew I could print another copy if I mess up. So there was really no pressure for me to try and create something that would look good, and yeah, it was nice. It was a nice change for me personally, so I really enjoyed it. But back to the palette. So I really like the way the colors mix together, and the way they blend on the page. It was very odd to work with this new vibrant palette, because I'm used to my old crappy palette where you need a ton of pigment on your brush and you get a semi-vibrant color. And with this one also, because this one is an opaque watercolor, you need a tiny bit of pigment to get a really vibrant results. So I really need to teach myself how to be less heavy-handed with picking up pigment from the palette, but I'm sure this will come with practice. But overall, I think the palette is really, really nice. I know a lot of people have done reviews about it, and I know it's not a new product. That's why I'm not doing a very in-depth review of it. But I just wanted to share with you my personal opinions and my thoughts, because this is a product that I've been wanting for a very long time, at least 2 years now, I feel like. And I finally have it, and I'm so grateful that someone bought it for me. I'm really happy and I can't wait to create some awesome art with it. I'm very excited. I really think it's going to improve my watercolor game, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. But by the way, guys, let me know what watercolors you use if you're into that sort of thing. I'm very curious because you hear kind of mixed reviews about some of the popular palettes, and I'm really interested in knowing what you guys use and how you're liking it and what are your recommendations. Also, let me know, do you like palettes that offer you a wide range of colors, or do you prefer to stick to the basics and mix your own shades? I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I really love mixing my own colors, sometimes I'm just a bit lazy and I like the fact that I have more colors and I don't need to do a lot of mixing and things like that. But let me know how you feel about it, because I know everyone's different when it comes to this. But yes, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and share your opinions in the comments of this video. I always like to hear from you, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye bye.